Hello everyone and welcome back to Destiny. This week, of course, we have the beginning of the challenge mode as I discussed earlier today, and in this video we're going to go over the first challenge, which is the Royal Pools. I'm not going to be going over how to complete the pools encounter itself. If you need that guide, I'll leave a link to it down below, but what I am going to show you is what you need to do to complete the challenge mode and the loot you get afterwards. Let's get into it. So the challenge is of course available for normal and prestige, and it's the same for both encounters. The object of the encounter is to have someone inside the middle pool at all times. They don't have to be on the plate, but they do have to have their feet in the water. If they jump or are thrown up by one of the Scion grenades, you fail the challenge. To complete this challenge, especially on prestige, you kind of have to switch up the way you play it. Or at least we had to switch it up because we typically divide into two teams of 3 and either do the left side and right side team or the top side and bottom side team. But for this challenge, especially for prestige, I highly recommend using the full room rotation. That means that there are 5 people actively rotating around the room with a 6th person in the middle. Essentially, you have to choose a corner of the room to start, and then the floater will go ahead and relieve that plate, and then that person that was on the first plate will go ahead and rotate clockwise to relieve the person on the second plate, and so on and so forth. I find that this method is a bit more forgiving if you need to get off your plate, so make survival your #1 priority. The idea is that once you're relieved, you want to go to the middle, re-up your buff, and then go to the next plate. The person in the middle needs to make killing the ads their #1 priority, mainly because the Scions will again launch you into the air, causing you to fail the challenge. So if you're in the middle, you're going to want to keep your aim towards the back of the room, because there will be 2 Scions and a Legionary that will periodically spawn from that area. Your buff will also naturally be going down as well. Just try to time it so you're not in the way of someone else. If you see someone heading towards your direction, maybe go ahead and grab the buff real quick, just so it can respawn by the time they get to the center room. With my team, I only had to rotate to 2 different plates before we were all locked in and ready to do the damage phase. On Prestige, I assume this is going to take a little bit longer, but I just haven't done it for myself. I wouldn't go as far as saying that I'm boycotting Prestige mode activities, but there really is no incentive to play them. I could care less about auras, so it's not something I'm interested in. On Prestige mode, you're gonna invariably run out of your buff before you're relieved, so just simply go to the middle, grab the buff again, and make it back to your plate. Yes, this is gonna slow down the process a little bit, but it's the best way to guarantee yourself that it will remain organized. For damage phase, it's in everyone's best interest for you to try to do this in 1 phase. I'm not actually even sure if it's possible to do it in 2 phases. Just make sure to communicate clearly and always have someone on ad control, 2 if you really need it. Now, of course, everyone's strategy is going to be different, but this is one good way to do it. Let me know in the comments below if you have an alternative strategy, or if you can make the 2 separate teams work just fine. Anyways, for completing the challenge mode, you are rewarded with a second chest next to the first one, and that one contains a guaranteed drop, some additional tokens, and of course, that Splish Splash emblem. But anyways, that brings us to the end of the challenge mode for Royal Pools. Again, be sure to share any best practices down below so we can learn it together. Drop a like if you enjoyed this video, and subscribe for more Destiny content. And I will see you all next time.